Such simple words that can have a big impact on ourselves. The power of our imagination and our intelligence makes us visualize the future. And genetically, we are formatted to think about the potential dangers so that we don't get killed by, I don't know, a cheetah or a bear or something. And we are in an environment where there's a lot of safety, but our brain still uses that to try to see what is dangerous and what is not dangerous. So most of the time, we're going to think about the potential downfall of something. We're really adverse to loss, but we're conservative in our winnings. So there's asymmetrical risks. But what if we start to use the sentence "what if" to power our imagination about what could go well, what could go good. There's something really cool about bees, and one of the writers, it's a guy working for Ogilvy. His name is Rory Sutherland, and I love his material. And he was saying that bees, most of them, they always go to the same flowers, and there's about 20% of bees that go on the beaten path, and they try to find other flowers. And it's funny because, well, some of them die, some of them can't come back. But it's funny because if these bees weren't do that, the law of diminishing returns would make the whole colony die, right? But these high risk takers that are going out of the common path to try to find some new flowers, and after all of the bees figure out these new flowers, and their cycle and circle of influence grow bigger and bigger and bigger. And we can also see that in our society, right? There are some people that are taking bigger risks. There's some people that are doing other things, that are exploring different views of the world. So I think that's why what ifs are really important. What ifs, especially in positivity, because life can be pretty stable slash boring when we know exactly what can happen. That spontaneity of just jumping on something or changing the way that we see our lives. We could use what if for so many different things. What if that conversation that was supposed to be really hard would go well, right? And if you put yourself in that expectation, it probably will go better. And if you still need to be prepared, if it doesn't go well. But what if positive outcome? What if this video comes out and it hits the people like it should? What if we all try to create the best world possible? What if I start to make a lot of money by talking? What if, what if I have great connections with people and it brings more humanity and impact, positive impact into the world? We are limitless until we die. Our brain is open, our creativity is there, our imagination just needs to be tapped in. And it's not complicated to do, it's pretty simple to do. We all have that. And I feel like there's so much media coming at us now that sometimes, well, we're going to eat that food instead of creating it from our own, which would be a total game changer for all of us, to really be incarnated into this world that we are in with fire in our eyes, saying, you know what? What if this would go the way that I think? What if this is a great win? I have a tendency to work really hard when I work for other people, but when it's my projects, I take them and I don't work so hard, right? Sometimes it's for fear of failure because I think that if I really hard work hard on something and it doesn't give the results that I want, um, well, I mean, I'm gonna feel like a failure. My identity is gonna be that I am a failure, but it's not such thing. As long as we try, as long as we try different things and that we get better, we polish our sword until maybe something taps in, or maybe we realize that our vision, maybe the thing that we got was, tremendous experience, tremendous things about humanity, but it didn't translate to money. And maybe that's okay too. Money is really important, but the slavery of money isn't, right? And we can get into dopamine cycles that just gets us trapped into different things. Money is one of them. What if we're able to create things, make money, live great, impactful relationships, be good into communicating what we really want with others, shed our chains, shed our old identity and old demons that we don't want, and be able to move forward in life centered, living joy, and being limitless. I think that's a pretty good what if to today. This is getting me inspired, right? Not excited per se as jumping everywhere, but at least excited to think about that. So what's really tricky about using our perception to plan the future? What's really tricky is that we don't really know what is going to happen, and we can only hope and have faith that the best outcome will arrive. And if it's not the best outcome, how can we spontaneously just change course or get in tune with what is going on? Because when you have an objective, there's always going to be some problems or some, not pitfalls, but some bumps in the road. It's normal, especially if it's the first time that you do something. You haven't taken the time to fix it all up. Or maybe they're not even problems, but you keep fixating on them because they're potential dangers into what you're doing right now, right? And the universe is big enough and limitless enough, and all of our relationships can go into so many different ways that we can't really know how it's going to go, right? So we can always plan for the worst. But sometimes we don't plan for the best. I sure don't do that, and I think it would be it's a good lesson for me to do. Like, what if this just gets momentum and steam? Well, actually, the what if that I want to have is like, what if I feel very good doing it? What if I'm sharpening my skills? And what if there's going to be some great positive outcome coming from all of the work that I do? If I have fire in my eyes and I dedicate myself 100% in my present moment into what I'm doing, while we're drifting away on this ball that's turning and speeding up in the universe, just the fact that we're here is such a chance. It's such it's such a chance. It's something that it's impossible. So we come from limitless possibilities. We are stardust. And then our little machine here says, you know what? This is what to expect. This is the environment and this is the universe, or this is the place that you stand in. And this is your little sandbox, and don't go out of that sandbox. And then other people, well, they invent planes, they invent new technologies, they invent stuff that wasn't there before, to be able to tap in our creativity, to be able to deal with our problems or expect a positive outcome that might have never been done before, is something very powerful, to be able to bring the future closer in the present moment. I'm happy I'm doing this video right now because it's putting me in a great mood. There are some people that are trying to fix the world's problem by using what ifs. Like, what can we do? There's some companies that are built to mine asteroids. They know they can't do it now, but they'll do it in 15, 25 years. And they're preparing right now for the future. I mean, we can sure do that. We can sure try to work on something that's going to bring great positive outcome. And it's really tricky because while you're doing that, sometimes it takes time to be able to, set the table properly. I was looking at my plant. I got a tree, a small plant here, and it wasn't growing at all. And then one day, poof, a branch, and then two other branches came out, just like that. And the amount of work that that branch did before it got to that place, right? We feel like it grew overnight, but it was preparing and preparing and preparing for such a long time. So if I can take the what ifs into, I've gambled. I want it to be spontaneous today. So future or past can be scary because our identity and our perception is filled with memories. These events, I mean, we can only rely on our memory to know if these events happen and on anticipation. So some people say when you think about the past, you're depressed. When you think about the future, you can become anxious. And right now, it's the only time. So, yeah, my big word for today was what if, these magical words. What if something positive happens? What if there's a positive outcome? Yeah, we change that. What if we get filled with positivity? And what if we start creating stuff with positive outcome in our small surroundings? That's where I am right now. So I'm always thinking about what's the positive outcome that I can have on my present people and on my surroundings. What if this translates to the other cycles of powers and the other cycles of powers? And what if networks start to work and then we have a lot of different things that become better, right?